Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. It is 3:33 in the East Coast. It is the 30th day of April in the year of our Lord. Regalwood Rasslin live, as we always do at the end of the week right here on all of the platforms. I am your humble host, the most humble man on the planet. I am the overlord of the wasteland, the engineer of combat, the big boss with the hot sauce and the star of this and every other show that I appear on. I am Ricky Regal, again the most humble man on the planet. Welcome to all of those who are in the chat. Welcome Wanda, welcome Kim. See you guys in there. Lace is in the studio also. She is getting her ringside report prepared, ready to blast out to the masses. So that's all coming up. Going to do a little news, and of course, we're waiting on Baby Doll to join the program. We made contact with her just a little bit ago, and she said she was good to go. And as of yet, we have not located Baby Doll. But we know that she's online because we see her and she's spoken to us. But I will tell you, this program that I use. My main control, you see me like, again, I'm not a professional broadcaster, okay? Let's do a little, before I do all of that, though, we're live. This is how my brain works. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble, and Kick. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble, and Kick. The YouTube, of course, is Wrestle Radio 860 on YouTube, WRESTLERADIO on YouTube. That's kind of the hub of all things Regal. Lots of independent shows there, lots of radio programs, lots of interviews with legends that I have hosted up there on the YouTube channel. So if you're not aware of the YouTube channel, or if you're just learning about us, go check out that and you'll learn about as most as you can stand about me and about what I've done in and around the business of professional wrestling. All right. Twitch is Regalwood6969. Facebook, of course, is Ricky Regal, RIKKI, REGAL. Rumble and Kick, of course, are Regal Wood. Look for this guy right here. See him, the big in shape bulldog? I used to look just like that. In fact, I think I was a little bit bigger than him. I was like a beast. But this guy right here, the big bulldog, if you find him, you're in the right by God spot to be for all things Regal. What I was saying, though, this program that I use, if you see me looking all around, right, I have one camera here, which, hi, this is you. You see me there, right? And then I have a monitor here where I'm looking at the production room. Then I have monitors over here where I try to monitor the chats. And then I have this one where the OBS, which is what we use to go live with. I know this is behind the inside baseball stuff that you really probably don't care about, but I'm telling you all this to tell you this. OBS and this other production room that I use are not the same program. They kind of work in conjunction with each other. And sometimes it's a little finicky to get in there. I had a little trouble getting a couple of my guests in, but once they get in, I mean, they're in, and it's not a big deal. But we're still kind of waiting on it. I see where she saw my text, but or my message on there to her, my DM. But as of yet, Baby Doll's still kind of standing by for Baby Doll. So we're gonna start off with a little news while we wait on Baby Doll, and then we'll get Lace in if we don't get her in too quickly, and we'll let Lace do her. What I wanted to do was do kind of just a little intro like we did just now, and then bring on Baby Doll because I know she's kind of tight scheduled today, and we'll get her on, and then we'll do the show as it goes. But gonna start off with a little news, and of course we'll finish the show today with the most ridiculous item of the week, probably one of the more popular parts of this show is the most ridiculous item of the week, and we have a really ridiculous one today. It comes to you from a local indie group out of I don't know, the general area here, and I think everybody I know as of last count that clip that's out there has been seen about 50,000 times. So I'm gonna show it to you again today, and you'll get to see it, and we'll all comment on it, and we'll have a good laugh, pat each other on the back, and walk out the door as friends. But I also got a show report from my friend Cruiser Lewis. Cruiser sent me a show report about this show where that's got this viral clip that's out there. I'm not listening. And I appreciate whoever took the time to handwrite that thing. And I can't bring it up and show it to you, but it's a handwritten report, like a couple of people have done in the past. Danny Paris, I think, used to handwrite his Carolina. I think he used to handwrite his Carolina Indy report and throw it in the mail. And if you got it, you got it. So God bless. But this thing came to me handwritten, and I'm not going to. But I will give the guy who wrote it credit, and I'm not sure exactly. Cruiser, maybe if he's in the chat, he can tell us who wrote it. But the guy who wrote it is actually, he's kind of funny. Like he does the star thing, which whatever about the stars. But he gives a couple of matches 0 stars and 1 star, and I'm like, well, at least he's honest, because from everything I've heard, it is a something to behold. But little national news. The WWE started back up with their A&E. I guess they partner up with A&E to do some of those behind the scenes shows, and they started the biography shows back up. And the first one was the Von Erich story, and man, when I tell you that Von Erich story is a piece of work, it's tragic, and it just goes on. It goes on with the tragedy of that family. But that was the first one this season, and if you get a minute, go. There's 2 parts to it, and so if you get a minute, go and check that out. And I tell you, it is really something rough with that entire saga. And then they brought back LFG, the Legends and Future Greats show. That's back, and they I guess they decided that the thing of suspending the disbelief of what is the competition here, because we already know all the people there are under contract, right? So what is the purpose of doing this contest to see who's there? And I see Baby Doll is in the production room. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm gonna have to take just a short second to get her logged in, but we'll do that in just a second after we complete this little part. But yeah, the Legend and Future Greats thing, they really changed up, and they even said this season we're going to do it differently, and we're doing away with the points, but they're going to keep the coaches, and they're going to continue to I guess show you how they put together matches. I watched the first few of that the first season. I didn't even know they had a second season. This is the 3rd season of the LFG show, so that's brand new, and it's on the A&E network. I think that airs on I want to say Sunday nights, but be sure to go and check that out. All right, give me just about 30 seconds. Let me go in here to the production room. You may hear some chatter behind the scenes, but that's just the way it is. Stand by just a minute, and I will get the lovely and talented Baby Doll in here to chat with her for a little bit. But yeah, just stand by, and it's all coming up right here next on Regalwood Rasslin. Stand by. Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I know this thing can be.
Wait, we can't hear Baby Doll.
Yeah.
Make sure.
I had you,
make sure
then
your
I lost you.
microphone's on.
I had you, then I lost you. Is your audio there, Baby Doll? I heard you, and then I lost you. I don't know what.
Look at your audio, Baby Doll. I can hear it through the TV.
I don't hear it at all. Do not hear her. We had her, and then
Wait a minute, I'm fixing to send her a picture of it to show her which one.
how we lost her sound. We had it, and then it wasn't there. Oh, she's gone.
Well, she's going to probably call right back in.
That's fine. I don't know what happened, but it's no problem.
Wait, okay. She's checking my thing now.
And this
I
thing.
sent her a picture of the audio button. I can hear us through the TV.
Hear her? I see.
Us.
Okay, how's that?
Perfect. All right.
Sometimes you have to start all over.
That's right. All right, stand by just a second. I'm gonna get you back in here.
And then when I dip, y'all are going, where'd she go?
Yeah.
I know where's she at?
I just started over.
All right.
That's
good.
what I did.
All right. I'm gonna, if it's okay with you, Nickla, I'm gonna bring you right on in. Okay.
Girl, yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right. Awesome. I'm gonna get you right here, and I'm gonna drop you in. And Lacey, we'll do you right after we're done with the interview, if that's okay with you.
Oh, that's fine. If you don't get to me, that's fine. As long as we get her in on it. And shit, we can hear her.
Yep. I got her. I got her. Thank you again for doing this. I really appreciate it.
I don't have nothing interesting to say anyways.
Sure you do. All right. Let me,
No, I do my update, so.
all right. Stand by. Lacey, go ahead and mute yours if you can.
I'm muting me.
All right. I'm sure you heard all of that. That's okay. It is what it is. I mean, we live, nothing like live production and producing on the flare. As you all know, I have a vast production team in here with me, and they all are incompetent. So I have to fire them and then hire new groups, and it just seems to get I can't get the quality of production team. Although the band, if I tell the band to just cut it, that band is always on point, right? Hit it, band. Just spot on every time. So I love my band, but my production team's going to use some more work. Without further ado, friends, we're going to bring in a legend, and certainly in my mind, and I'm sure all of yours too. Of course, Baby Doll Nickla Roberts, involved in some of the biggest angles in NWA history, and some of the most heated things that went on in those events. And we're going to bring her in, and we're going to talk to her and see what's going on with Baby Doll, and see how she's been and what she's been up to. But without further ado, here is my special guest today, Nickla Roberts, Baby Doll. Welcome to the program, Baby Doll.
Hey, how are y'all? Glad to be here. Finally got here. Took me a minute.
It's all right. The main thing is we got you here, and we're
Absolutely.
We're so glad to have you. It is an honor. I greatly appreciate it. I had Nikita on a couple of weeks ago, and just talking to you guys is a thrill for me, because I came up, of course, watching you guys, and had a big impact on my just like I told Nikita. I'll tell you, you guys had a big impact on my desire to be a part of the wrestling business, and even in a much smaller scale that I was active, it was always good to have you guys out there and to kind of pave that way. And but how are you? What have you been up to? What's going on in the world of Baby Doll these days?
Oh, getting springtime in North Carolina, getting a bunch of flowers planted, got my chickens going. So if you hear a rooster crowing, I've got like 10 of them. So if they hear me talking, they're probably going to start crowing. And Ryder's getting ready to finish up 5th grade and go into 6th grade. Just had saw Tully in Boonville, North Carolina for AML. That was an awesome show. Always great to see him. Going to have the gathering coming up in July.
Yep.
Otherwise, just chilling out here on the farm.
Sounds like a lot of work just to be chilling. I mean, I'm so glad that you're still out there still doing it. I actually saw where a couple of pictures where you and Tully had linked up, and that is just fantastic. Do you stay in touch with those guys from the day still pretty regularly, or is it just when you run on each other on shows, or how
it's not like we're texting each other, yeah, but we see each other often enough that we just stay in touch that way throughout the shows and everything.
That's awesome, and it is awesome. And I listen, like I told Nikita, and I'll tell you guys too. It's just awesome to still have you guys around, and you're still out there and still doing it, and still and it's just amazing that we still have you, and thank God we do, because we need you guys to still be out there to kind of straighten out some of the mess that we found ourselves in wrestling. I don't know how closely you follow it
It's
now,
fun
but
to be out there, but it's so new now, and
yeah,
everybody's just it's just different, and you can't say, oh, we'd like to go back to 85 because we can't. It's 2026, so let's go.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
New direction.
Nagita kind of said the same thing. You know, is that I don't think we'll ever get it back to the way that it was, but we always have those memories, and I'm just glad that we do. I'm going to go back a little bit in your career. I'm not going to take us way far back, but I want to go back a little bit. What first drew you into wrestling? I mean, how did that journey begin for you?
I was very fortunate to be born into a wrestling family. Both of my parents were wrestlers. My dad promoted in Lubbock, so man, it was right there in my backyard. I had a playpen in the back room from the very start. Sold programs, tickets, concession, everything. I mean, it's whenever I say I've been professional wrestling all my life, I've been in all my life.
Yeah, that's just cool. When you first entered wrestling, did you realize how unique and influential your role as Baby Doll would
Oh, there was no clue.
Yeah.
No clue. No, it was just out on the road, making some money, just trying to drive. It was something I really, really wanted to do, but I knew it wasn't going to be a career because girls just weren't in the business that way at that time. I was just fortunate to be there at the right place at the right time and have a really good spot.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know you did. What was it? Andrea the Giant. Wasn't that your first foray kind of in?
Yes, in '84 for World Class Wrestling, I was able to work with David Manning and get booked with them as Andrea. They were looking for a girl as a bodyguard for Gino Hernandez because he had his angle going with Stella. And then Sunshine had gone into some rehab. She was getting healthy and better, and they needed someone just as a transition until she got back. So I was able to fill that spot and get it covered. And then just happened to be in Florida Christmas Day and the day after in Miami and Tampa. Dusty and Tully were looking for a girl for Tully to be his perfect 10. Whenever they saw me, it was just like I was a perfect girl for it. So each job I had, I was just at the right place at the right time.
I mean, that's really cool that it shook out like that, because who knows what, if you hadn't been in one place at a particular moment, who knows? But thank goodness
it would have never happened. It would have never happened.
So you don't think it would have eventually you would have found your niche had you not been at that particular moment?
Probably not, because that opportunity of coming up and then with the girls and things like that. I mean, there's no telling which direction that the business would have gone in at that time. It was just very, very, very blessed.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to look at it. What elements of the character of Baby Doll came naturally to you, and what did you have to kind of develop on your own over time? Did they give, in other words, did they give you a template of this is kind of what we want, this is where we're going, or did you kind of go as you felt it?
They gave me an idea, and then my clothes, my look, whatever I did was basically all mine. Especially the clothes and things like that. I had a suitcase of what I thought Dusty wanted that I took down to the Crockett office, and it was kind of California workout type thing. And he was like, no, I want Dynasty. I want the Linda Evans and the Joan Collins. That's what he wanted. So kind of the thuggish Dynasty. That's what I went with. Worked out. So
it absolutely did. Thuggish Dynasty. I don't think I've ever heard that, but that's a pretty good way to put it. Pretty good way to put it.
I clean up nice, and I can kick your butt.
Absolutely. I heard a Jim Cornette, a couple of his interviews talking about you, and I think he said that some of those shots you were giving were pretty legit. Back when it
was.
Yeah.
Well, there couldn't be a question of whether our stuff was legit. Otherwise, it would be corny and funny. And I didn't want it to be corny and funny because, with like Cornette hitting me and possibly ending my possibility of having children. I mean, with that storyline going, I couldn't like halfway. I mean, the people believed and the people were close enough that they had no doubt. And to this day, they're still talking about it.
Yeah.
And if I just barely hit him or slapped him or something, y'all wouldn't be talking about it because it would have been corny. And my stuff was never corny.
That's a fact. And it's funny. Speaking of things to remember to this day, not some wrestlers are lucky to have a moment. You had multiple moments, and we're talking about.
I did.
One of my all-time favorite matches and a lot of people's as well. Of course, is the I Quit match, and I want to talk about that a little bit later. But the slaps, I know when Dusty slapped you, how did that kind of come about? I mean, what was the impetus to bring it to where a babyface is going to strike a female heel? It was kind of unheard of back in the day.
It had been building up. See, I had actually slapped Dusty just weeks before that, where Tully held him, and I like the dominatrix almost slapped him, and he was down like that. So then when I got in his face again and I slapped him, it was like a reaction because we'd already been building up to where I'd been in his face so much to where it was just, and he knew it was just like, this is either gonna make me the strongest baby face ever or it's going to turn me heel. And he had so much faith in how much heat I had, and with Tully, the two of us together, that he could go ahead and do it. And sure enough, whenever he smacked me, if you watch even the women, cigarettes hanging out of their mouth, they're going, hit her again, hit her again. I mean, that's heat.
Oh, it was.
And we just rode that whole summer on that.
It was tremendous heat, and just the way that place exploded, only to be matched and probably superseded by when Tully hit you. I mean that.
That was like 8 months later.
Yeah.
And in the buildup of that, we also had like where we had the 30 days where Dusty won me for the 30 days, and we did all the really cool little vignettes with Floyd, and then Tully lost the TV title to Dusty. But then during the 30 days, then Tully won the national title from, or was it the U.S. championship from Magnum. Yep. And then we rode all of that through to Starrcade, and we had the Kiss with Magnum, where I came out with the policeman's outfit in Charlotte. Then Magnum came out with his policeman's outfit, and they did the back and forth. Then we had Starrcade, and then it wasn't until after Starrcade where Tully slapped me, and then I went with Dusty.
Yeah,
there was a lot in that year. There was a whole lot in that year.
There was a lot in that year. And speaking of running storylines for a year long, that has sadly also became a thing of the past. It's so much different now because you guys would take.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that you could do the 6 month to a year storyline building it up. You've got maybe 2 or 3 months to each big WWE pay-per-view, and then you got to start all over. It's just the way it is. It's the market of it. Everything's changing so quickly. We were blessed, so blessed to have it during that time where they could take the time with it.
I think too with the amount of wrestling that's on today, which is I mean, it's on pretty much every night now. And there's, like you said, there's PLEs once a month, where in the used to they would be maybe a quarter, and then of course the big event being Starrcade every year. So I think you're right in that some of the for lack of a better word, some of the oversaturation, you don't have time to spend in those storylines like you did in the 80s. But I will tell you, I don't think what's that 35 plus years later, they'll still be talking about
40.
some of the stuff. Okay, 40 years later, they'll be talking about some of the stuff you guys did like we are today, like what's going on now. And you know, I just think it takes away some of the legendary status. Yeah. Right.
I know one thing. I probably won't be here to hear it, so I'm good.
But I know for a fact in 40 years they'll still be talking about that some of the baby doll stuff, because it was just
hopefully
it was
hopefully.
it was just legendary. And speaking of legendary, we got to talk about the I Quit match. I mean, that thing was just phenomenal, and I still, knowing as much about wrestling as I do at this stage of the game, that thing still gets me. It's like, why did this happen this way? You know, with the chair, and it just
It
broke just
was
right.
the
You know,
perfect build up, the perfect storytelling. Dusty hit everything on cue. Everything made sense. It built you in every week of what was going to happen next, and like Tully would get the best of Magnum, and then Magnum would get the best of Tully. And the one thing with Magnum, you never doubted he was in a fight.
yeah,
Whenever he had a match, you knew that he gave everything. And the same thing with Tully. And with those two got together, they were not going to let the other one outshine the other one. So it was just two big alpha males going for dominance. And every time you heard a punch hit, it was a legitimate solid hit.
yeah. I've heard you say in other interviews that there was a little bit of legit rivalry between those two guys. How deep did that run? I know it was all for best for business, but was there some professional, maybe like nudging going on in there?
Well, you always want to be number one. Tully always wanted to be number one. Magnum was like Dusty's best friend, so it was. Tully never wanted to be slighted. Tully never wanted to be second. Tully never wanted to be even. You know, Tully wanted to be the best, and I was very fortunate to be able to work with him because he always wanted the best out of me too. So it was just magic how it all worked together, and just putting those two with a rivalry and just, I don't want to say hatred, but they didn't like each other from the very start. And that went in. Today, I think that, they've gotten kind of over it, with kids and marriages and things like that.
Yeah.
But back then it was stiff.
Really, that's interesting because, like I said, we all know kind of too much about the business at this point, and certainly the general casual fan knows more than any of us knew back in the '80s. But that's unusual because
Well, Tully was legit, and Tully wasn't ever gonna bitch about it because it was making money. But Tully was legit getting beat up every night and wasn't going to back down and saying, "Oh no, you're too rough. You're hitting too hard." He would never do that. And Magnum wasn't either. So they were each pushing each other to the ultimate, and it shows.
absolutely.
And the good thing is neither one was going to back down.
Yeah.
Neither one was going to back down.
I think that match will probably live on as it's on my Mount Rushmore matches for sure. And I think that
it by far, I think, for the build up and everything, is like the best match out there. If not the best match in professional wrestling because of the build up and everything and legitimacy of it, but the best cage match by far.
Oh, without question. I mean, it's never been replicated.
It may not be the best, but there's nothing better.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
And Tully never said I quit. He never said I quit.
Being a fan of the heels, you're right. Tully never quit. And in fact, I'll tell you just a little quick aside. When I used to run a yearly event down here where I'm in South Carolina, and we would run a yearly event at Christmas. And I actually patterned one of my matches. I was working against the local sheriff. We're doing a charity event, and I actually patterned one of my matches after that entire finish of that angle, and I did the same thing where they put me in the submission.
It works,
and I was like,
and what's funny is the referee for the I Quit match was Hebner, just with like the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
So Hebner was already a shady referee before all that.
Yeah. It's just so well done, and again, we stole that finish at one of our matches because it's just.
It works.
It still works. It still to this day, like you said, 40 years later, it still works. And I did the same thing. I'm like Tully. I never quit. It's just
exactly. And you can say it with heart too.
That chair spot, and of course the wooden chair thing was unusual. But was it? Do you know? Was it supposed to break the way that it did to give him that gimmick to finish that? That was just by happenstance.
I am amazed because what was really funny was someone pointed out, they were like, "Wonder if you didn't get the chair over the cage." And I was like, I never even thought about that. That was never even a possibility. But whenever I first threw it, it actually got about 3/4 of the way up and then bounced off, and I caught it. And I remember saying a little prayer. It was like, Lord Jesus, please help me. And I just, with everything I had, just slung it, and it just went perfect up there, and it landed on that leg, and it just broke perfect. I mean, there wasn't a different way to look at it, and I'm so thankful, because if it hadn't gotten over there, I really don't know what we would have done.
Yeah.
I asked Tully that in Boonville. I was like, what would have happened if I didn't get he said, we would have thought of something. He said, we would have thought of something, but it's just kind of funny. What would they have done?
Would have figured it out. Yeah. No, it was just so interesting the way, because the chair, again, just broke just perfectly for that little,
and that's
spike.
part of the match too. It's just adds to the legitimacy of it. Like with the chair, and okay, she didn't get it up the first time. Oh, she got it the second time. And then how it broke, everything fell into place perfectly.
It really did. And there's really nothing else you can say about it. It really was just all just happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen. Again, while we're talking about it some 40 years later.
Exactly.
My special guest, Baby Doll, is in with us today. We appreciate her for coming in and just talking about some of those old angles that still hang on even to this day. And it's just great to have you here. I want to talk a little bit more. So I know you had is my mic? So I hear some.
Yeah, I hear you.
My mic's a little low. Is it better now, Cruiser, or is it still low? I don't know. Here, getting some comments that my mic is low for now. We wouldn't have a program, Baby Doll, if we didn't have technical difficulties. That is part of that is part of the makeup of this Regalwood Wrestling show. It's got to be technical difficulties. So you had gotten into a relationship with Sam Houston, and he had gone subsequently to the WWF. And
right.
I never knew up until recently that's why you kind of was not so much released, but just not used as much, because you went to a WWF show back then. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all came about?
It's just part of kayfabe and the way that the business was, and it was business, and they didn't want their top star being seen at a WWE show because it might mean that I'm going over there to them, and they didn't want any and now I understand, but back then I didn't know. I would just dress up like a regular person, go sit in the stands and watch a show, and it wasn't like I went to go get recognized or go, but I understand, and business is business, and Dusty wanted me to be a Marilyn Monroe type character, and I didn't quite see it that way. And I saw Marilyn as being married, like 3 times. And, if she can be married and happy, then why can't I? But when I look back, I mean, I understand, but I wouldn't change anything, because if I changed anything, then I wouldn't have my daughters, and my daughters are way more important than anything I ever did back then. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah, no, that I mean, you have such a great way of looking at things. I mean, everything pretty much happens for a reason, and we understand it. Was there ever any interest from the WWE when you were hanging around back then with Sam?
No, they from what I had heard was that I was too localized. I want to say like too Southern.
Yeah.
But oh well, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I'm good. Because I look at like what they did with my friends, like with Terry Taylor and Dusty and Lex and those guys, and what they did with their characters. And I'm wondering like what they would have done with me. And I'm glad to have done what I did. And I'm better than everybody. And I have more heat, and I'm good.
Yeah. No, that is always
I'm good.
That's always a consideration, is what would they have done? What would they have changed you to? And they even they tried to kind of play down Dusty with the whole polka dot deal, but he still got over in spite of all that. So
right. And then you look at the girls, like Leilani's not happy with what they did with her. Look, Wendy Richter's not happy with what they did with her, and stuff. So and then when you look at like China, she overdosed because she was so unhappy. So why would I? I'm glad I'm not in that position. I'm
Yeah.
glad I've got chickens and a good husband, and I've got a little farm, and yeah, I'm good.
That's awesome.
I'm better than good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's just really great to hear. When so what you were out for what a couple of years when they stopped using you after that. Then you came back with Zabisco in '88. What was the impetus to bring you back?
To push him more with a heel and a manager, and you'll just give him a little more heat. He was over so much in the Northeast,
Yeah.
and then to bring him down like in the Southeast, it wasn't quite the same. And then we just didn't click. He did so much better with like with Bobby and Terry Taylor, with the 6-man on that. So yeah, and Larry and I are good friends still. So
yeah, I'd heard you saying
sometimes you just don't click. But out of Larry, I've got the angle with the envelope, and I'm still asked about that all the time. So
that was where I was going to next with the envelope. I've heard, and you can say I don't know how true it is, which I'm glad you'll be able to clear that up. I've heard you still have the envelope. I heard you still have it.
I have the envelope. It's in my china cabinet.
That's wild to me. And one other thing that I greatly respect. Because again, we live in a post-kayfabe world. But I've heard you say that Dusty told you not to tell anybody what was in it. Tell us about that.
No, I had asked Dusty back in probably 2005, 2006, something like that. Well, maybe it was later than that. What do I tell people? Because I was being asked, and I didn't know where the angle was going, and it was just kind of like in the very, very beginning stages. And he said, don't ever tell them. He said, once you tell them, then they won't ask you again. And okay. So I'm not telling.
It's just fascinating to me that some of us who still kind of hold on to that remnant of kayfabe, that thing you still haven't broken the seal on it. It's still
Dusty's genius.
Genius.
Dusty's genius. Everybody says, "Oh, Dusty was so narcissistic," and Dusty. It was all about Dusty and Dusty. It was a Dusty show. No, when you look at it, Dusty had 3 towns a night running. He had like 75 guys on the card. He wasn't the only one in every match. He made a lot of us stars, and it wasn't the Dusty show. It was Jim Crockett Promotions, and we were just blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's just such a magical time, and that's all that entire era holds still such a special place in a lot of our hearts, and as well as do you. Tell us something about Dusty that we may not have known were it not for you telling us today.
Dusty. People ask about Flair and Dusty, who was over more. I think there was a time that Dusty was over more than Flair, because a lot of people, like, Flair puts him off because he's so arrogant and so cocky and stuff, while Dusty is like the working man's champion. I think at one time Dusty was way more popular than Flair, and I don't think that people realize like how over Dusty was. And I got to travel with him and see people, yelling and screaming, and Dusty, and just to see it, it was really cool. It was amazing.
Tell us a little bit about. I mean, you worked alongside again Dusty, Tully, Magnum, all the legends. Who do you think taught you the most about performing and your character and learning the business out of all the legends you did work with?
Wow. There's 2, okay, because Jake taught me how to be a heel. He taught me how to slow down. He taught me the very basics of being a heel. So I was very, very fortunate to work with him. And then Tully took it that points further of like just polishing it, and it wasn't easy being a heel, but I love being a heel. And I love being a heel with Tully because a lot of people can't stand the heat, and they don't like being called names, and they don't like being made fun of. But that's part of being a heel. Is you're a heel, you're the bottom, you're what everybody's going to make fun of, but then you're going to have to be better than everybody else. And that's like working with Tully and Gino, they were the best. So it was easy to be a heel. But it's really hard when you're like 23, 24 years old, and everybody's calling you names and everything. But I liked it.
So dealing with that, you didn't have a problem with that, because I'm sure you were throwing some pretty harsh words back in the day, especially on the hillside. You were good
You have
with
to
it.
look at, like, I looked at kind of the source of where it was coming from, and then it's like, well, I'm good. It wasn't like my dad calling me that. See, if my dad, it would be different.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you view the evolution of women's wrestling from your era to today's generation? That big change that it is from when you were around to now. How do you view that?
Considering I was like the only girl in the dressing room, to like now I can go into a show and there's like 30 girls on the card, and they're on the card. It's just amazing to me, like how many girls. It's like with my mother was wrestling, I think there were like 40 girls wrestling throughout the United States.
Yeah.
And then I think there was like 80 whenever I was in there, and there's like over 4,000 with my daughter now worldwide.
Yeah. Speaking of your daughter, Samantha Starr, I saw some of her work the other day, and it is it's crazy how much y'all favor, how much she looks like you. That's awesome. What advice are you giving young women and your daughter who are trying to get out there and do it today?
I don't. It's kind of like, I love my daughters. I did not teach them how to drive because I did not want them hating me, and I did not want to hate them back. It's just kind of one of those things when you learn how to wrestle, whoever coaches you, you're going to hate them, because you have to teach your body how to fall, and fall really hard. And wrestling, even though like everybody thinks it's scripted and faking the whole thing, no, those falls really hurt. And to do what they do is just amazing. And I'm not going to be the one to tell her, you need to do this, and this, whenever there's people that are trained better and that can take her to that next level that I can't. I can help her with her makeup and jewelry. That's what I do. I make her clothes.
Yeah. Where is she working? Who is she working with?
She's with NWA. She is manager of TVMA and Tiffany Nuevas and Gretchen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Watch her on NWA. She's good.
That's awesome.
She's like the only female manager right now, I think, in anywhere.
Does she sell the baby doll connection, or is it just she's doing her own thing?
Oh yeah, she's third generation on both sides. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. She's
the only third generation female wrestler with her parents and grandparents on both sides of the family.
That's astonishing. So she's got
there's third generation male wrestlers, but not females.
She absolutely has the pedigree. There's no question. No question there. Looking back on your career, what accomplishments in wrestling makes you the most proud, makes you look back with like, that was pretty cool?
I think that I can say in 1985, Baby Doll had more heat than any female wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about that. I was looking at some of that old stuff and researching this interview and speaking to you, and those places would literally explode. I mean, they talk about nuclear heat. I mean, it was literally nuclear in some of those.
Oh, they hated Tully and I. They damaged our cars. They made it hard to walk to and from the ring. It was fun. It was because you couldn't do that now, like with social media and just the way that people act. You just couldn't do it. It was just a magical time, and we were just tough enough to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean that's legitimately it. That toughness really speaks and was evident, certainly. If you could relive one,
and what's funny is, I'll bring this up now.
Sure.
Wrestlers that are complaining that fans are in the lobby during the WrestleMania weekend is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine a wrestler complaining that they were mobbed in the lobby.
Yeah.
after WrestleMania. I mean, Lacey, please. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of a wrestler going, "Oh man, there's too many fans out here. Oh my gosh, I cannot handle this." No, I'm sorry. You are weak if you cannot walk through a crowd of people in a lobby.
Yeah.
You are weak if you think that you're in public and can demand people like leave you alone. You were in the lobby of the MGM Grand Hotel expecting privacy. It's like, you've got a room, go to your room. That's just me. I cannot believe Flair would ever say, "Oh my God, there's too many women in the bar tonight. I'm going up to the room."
Yeah, no,
See,
you're right.
That's just what I'm saying. Times have changed.
Times certainly have. I brought that up last week when I'd seen where you had commented on it online, and I was like, I understand what you're saying, because when my partner and I, when we got in, and we got in like '89ish, and I told the story last week when we were getting in. His mantra was, "I just want to be famous. I just want to be famous." That was the mantra, I don't care about the money, I just want to be famous. And with that fame would come all that attention and all that people being in the hotels.
I'm not going to be famous today. I'm sorry. I worked WrestleMania. My time is done. I'm not. No more. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, you are not over if there's no one in the hotel. You are not over. Yeah. If no one is coming to meet you at the airport, you are not over. And I understand that you just want to get to your room and play your video games, and that's what you think your time is, but you're famous and you've invited people into your life, and it's kind of something we have to accept.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand like not going and knocking on their door, but this was in the lobby of the hotel after WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's almost to be expected.
And then what was it? Drew Galloway was saying, he was upset because they had tracked down his family was there. And I'm like, dude, this is WrestleMania. This is the biggest night of your career for the year. This is not a family vacation. This is work. This is not take your kids to school day. Yeah. Fans are going to act crazy because we've kind of made them crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, the fan is short for fanatic. I mean, that's their job, is
exactly,
to show where you
are.
Right?
And complaining that the fans are bothering you on WrestleMania weekend, you might want to plan a vacation on another time. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. And when you said that, I was like, yeah, no, I absolutely see your point. And I understand too that it can probably some fans will cross a little bit of a line and everything like that.
If you're approached at the airport and someone's got 40 things to sign, walk past and say no. You do not have to stop. That's why I don't understand is like, why are people stopping and signing things and then complaining when no, and just keep going? What are they going to do?
Strong opinions from the legendary Baby Doll,
well, what happened to saying no? I'm busy. I can't.
Yeah.
And keep walking. Or how about this? You're a multi-million-dollar athlete. If the fans bother you, do like other famous people and get security.
Our security, yeah. What did you see the thing where Punk slapped the fan out of his phone out of his hand? Did you see that?
See, you can't touch people.
Yeah.
You're in the lobby after WrestleMania. What do you think people are going to do?
Yeah, no,
they're not going to act. They're not going to be sane, rational people. This is after WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, I was surprised, and I even in my closing last week, I mentioned that if you're working for a multi-million-dollar company and you got a lot of corporate entities involved, you don't probably want to go around slapping people's phones out of their hands.
No. And I had read where that WWE offered the talent rooms at Caesar's Palace with security, but then the other talent had chosen to go other places. Well, then you're responsible for yourself. If WWE offered, hey, we've got this place secure, and you go somewhere else, you can't bitch that the fans found you. You let them find you.
Somebody in the chat says it's one thing to want an autograph, but purposely following them and shoving phones in their faces is strange work. Humans are proving how gross they can be. That's just somebody's opinion there in the chat room. I don't know, but again, like Baby Doll says, you got to kind of expect that. I mean, when you're working at that level at that event, you have to sort of be prepared for they're going to run up with cameras in your face. I mean, that's just
Okay, what did movie stars do in the 50s? They were, they would land and they'd have all the photographers and the big press releases and everything. It seems like now we've gotten very weak where we can't just walk by and say no, leave me alone, or no and keep walking. It's like, oh, I, I don't know.
yeah. No, it makes sense, and again, you probably don't want to be slapping. And I would say, and I mentioned this too last week when I was talking about this same thing. The fans pay these exorbitant amounts now to get into the actual shows, which I mean, some of the ringside seats were uppers of $12,000. And
Yeah,
so
like $600 for like a nosebleed seat.
for nosebleeds. So
Yeah.
the
Someone
fan,
said that they were sitting with Jesus.
yeah, and the fans that we came up with in the '80s certainly can't afford that. That's not the wrestling fan
No.
that came up back in the day. So that's kind of pricing them out of being at the arena. So of course they're going to show up in force after the
Well,
shows
and
at the
then look at
hotels.
like when you go to like the autograph sites,
Yeah.
and I am all for capitalism and making as much money as you can whenever you can. But when you look at if you're going to spend like 30, 40, $50 to even get into a show, like let's say a couple at $40 each, that's $80 to get into an autograph show.
Yeah.
And then to buy autographs, the cheapest one is $30
Right.
on up to like what, $300. That's a lot of money.
Well,
That is a lot of money.
Cena's getting $500 a pop. I mean, and the room is full. I just don't. I don't know
That's
how.
crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
It's very much is. Um, but I mean, like you say, it just it's where we are in the business.
And
nowadays.
they have a line. And they have a line.
Yeah, his room was full at his event doing that. But I don't know how they do it, but
I love it.
but God
All right,
bless.
one more question, and then I gotta go fix supper for my family.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again, Baby Doll, for doing this. I'll give you the last question I have for you is when future generations talk about Baby Doll, what do you hope they most remember about you and your career?
Legitimate, tough, badass who took care of business and was just exactly what the promoter wanted.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we're going to leave it at that. Nickla Roberts, Baby Doll, thank you so much for doing this. You are a legend. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope to talk to you again in the future.
What was it that Dusty said? Don't call me a legend. I'm in my prime.
Baby. Thank you so much again for doing
All
this.
right.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much. Lacey, I'll see you in July.
Very cool. That is the legendary Baby Doll who joined us today on the program. We're so grateful to have her. It was awesome. And I'm getting some feed. Okay. Do that. Okay. So that was cool, man. It was really, really cool to have Baby Doll on. Man, I tell you right now, she tells it like it is. She had me intimidated. And I don't get intimidated. I intimidate. But she had me intimidated. I'm like, wait, I don't want to piss her off. She may find out where I'm at. That's cool though. It's good to have Baby Doll, the legendary Baby Doll right here on Regalwood Rasslin. Gonna take a quick break. Couple of minutes. We're going to step aside. Come right back with Lacey's ringside report. She's going to give us what's coming up, and then we've been going about an hour, so we'll probably do after Lacey's thing. We'll wrap it up with the most ridiculous item of the week coming right here out of local promotion, and that's all coming up right after the jump right here on Regalwood Rasslin. Stand by. right, back here on Regalwood Rasslin. Thanks again to Baby Doll for coming on today. Nickla Roberts, she's there on Facebook. I usually like to let them do some plugs before they leave, but I think she was in a hurry to get out and do family things, which is the right call. It's always family first, and but we do appreciate her for coming. I know she's going to be at the gathering coming up later this year, and all that stuff. And her daughter Samantha Starr, check her out on NWA. She does look exactly like her. I saw a picture, and I'm like, wow. So good stuff. But again, sorry about the technical difficulties. That's part of this program. It would not be a Regalwood Rasslin episode were it not for technical difficulties. One of our many mottos here at the program. All right, going to bring in the lovely and talented Lace now. She's going to give us some updates on some things and what's going on with her this week. Welcome back to the program, the lovely Lace. Welcome. Hey.
Hey there.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Hey.
I think do you have volume in yours, because I'm getting a lot of feedback on your end for some reason. You may have to.
Yeah,
you might have to.
Can you hear me now?
I got you, but I'm hearing me also. See? I'm feeding back through for some reason.
What about now?
Let's see. Yep, still feeding back through there, Lace.
Let me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you still hear me?
I don't know. Yep, still.
Feedback.
I'm coming through yours, because when I mute you, I don't hear it. But when I don't, I'm hearing me talking. I love me probably more than anybody on the planet, but I don't need to hear myself in my headphones, because that would drive me insane.
What about now?
Still there. Yep.
But are you still mute
Yep.
through it?
Yep.
Well, I can't hear you if I mute the room.
No, but
Yeah, so I can't hear
you
I don't know
can
what
still
you
hear
got.
yourself. What about now?
What about now? That's perfect. I got you.
What about now?
Nope.
That's perfect.
No.
I got you.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
Too much. It's too much me. You know.
Too much. It's too much me.
A whiny cat that won't leave me alone.
Well, I tell you what. I'm going to. I will let you do your thing, and I'm just going to kind of sit here in silence, because I can't. It's feeding back right into my headphones. So tell everybody what's going on this week, Lace, and what you got going on, and what you got coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I won't take the second because I need to go pick up the stray cat I had spayed today. I'm just going to let everybody know some shows that are coming up. Saturday, May the 2nd in Silva, North Carolina is Heroes to Legends. Friday, May the 8th, Chester, South Carolina is Action-Packed Wrestling. Friday, May the 15th, Anderson Mall is Universal Championship Wrestling. Saturday, May the 6th, on Tampa Street is 3 Count Pro Wrestling. May the 23rd, Roebuck, South Carolina is Community Championship Wrestling. May the 30th in Morganton, South Carolina is NAWA Professional Wrestling. I just wanted to give a shout out to the local area shows. Let everybody know that listens to your Regalwood. There are shows out there. Go out and enjoy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that, Lace. I do appreciate you doing your weekly report. I don't know what's going on with the volume this week, but it's all over the place. But you know, we push through because that's what we do here at Regalwood Rasslin. Thank you for that, Lace. We will talk soon. I do appreciate you for all that you do and helping me make this thing happen. So I do appreciate you. All right. So I got this. We're gonna start kind of moving toward the end here. I appreciate everybody who helps me here. I appreciate everybody who's in the chat. The MVC 1490, don't know who you are, but welcome. Cruiser's in there. Wanda's in there. Kim was in there earlier, and just appreciate everybody who joins us either now on live or in the future when we replay the program. So the most ridiculous item of the day or the week, because we do a weekly show here, comes to us from a company called CMW. I don't know what that stands for. I don't. It's ridiculous. We're going to take a quick look at it. It's only, I think it's maybe like a minute or so. There may be a little language in here. Not the best video of it, but without ado, here's kind of what went on in Greenwood the other night. Check this out, will ya? Get myself out of the way.
Just like I just snatched up on everybody. I promise. I promise. I promise. Bring it. Hey, I'm not going nowhere, bro. I'm right here. I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Did you not see that little guy?
Hello.
Mama.
I don't. If you missed the part of the chair throw, and even one of the fans says, "Did you not see that little girl?" Well, this is ridiculous on several levels. Look, I will tell you as a matter of fact that same parking lot, not 2 nights before, had a shooting 2 doors down from where you see this thing happening at. That's a fact. They had a shooting in that same parking lot. I usually don't watch what goes on in the ring or outside the ring. I watch the fans. That's just the way I watch wrestling now, especially indie wrestling, because what goes on, what the fans do is a direct result of what you're doing. Okay? If you watch, and we'll take another short look, but if you watch the fans, never mind the nonsense of the guy right here and the chair throw and the throwing and the child standing there, and I guess the guy's whole family was standing there with him. But I'm guessing from what I later learned, the guy who the I'm right here guy was part of the show. But when you can't tell and you can't determine that, it scares the fans because they know what location you're in. Watch the fans, and they're sitting there legitimately not knowing what's going on, and tell me how that helps your show. How does that get your show over? Now, I'll say that with the caveat of this thing's had over 50,000 views. But is it the kind of views you want? Do you want it being viewed 50,000 times because it's can't miss TV, can't miss event, or do you want it because it's stupid and it's nonsense? Another quick look, but this time don't watch the dumb stuff, the I'm right here nonsense. Watch what the fans do and watch their reactions, because that's really, at the end of the day, all that counts, right? Another quick look. Look at the fans. They're standing around.
Hello.
I mean, it legitimately appears that the people working the show don't know what's going on. So if your own people don't know what's going on, how in the heck do you expect anybody else to know what's going on? Look, again, go live your dream. Go do your thing. God bless. You know, I give you the blessing. But number one, know where you're promoting your event. Promoters, know where your venue is. Know what happened at your venue a year in advance. Because if the place got shot up last week and you come in here with this nonsense this week, is that a connection you want your fans making with your product? Everybody says I hate everything and I crap on everything. Am I wrong that this deserves to be crapped on? And if you're part of the show, why you got your family and your children standing next to you if you know the chair's coming? It's confusing. It doesn't make sense, and it does not forward your product. I'm sure the game of telephone will get back to whoever these wonderful promoters and wrestlers are that Regal's crapping on your product and he's just wrong because he's old and he's out of touch. Okay, sure. I'll grant you all of those things. Watch your fans. Your fans will tell the story for you. If your stuff is utter nonsense and you're in a place where there's been violence, how are you bettering your promotion, your company, and your product? And this business overall? Just some unmanned opinion. I know you guys are out there probably making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on your MLW, whatever this is. God bless. It's just my opinion. All right, it's going to do it for this one. I appreciate everybody who joined me today, everybody who was in the chats, everybody who was took part in the program, commented on the chat rooms. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We appreciate it. This is not about money. I will never ask for a dime for this. This is all just me kind of getting this poison out of my system when it comes to wrestling. I thank you for that one. True in all my words. Yeah, I'm just I tell the truth, and I know that's not popular, especially nowadays where everybody's got to be coddled and codified. I'm not that guy. If you want to be, if you want to be told how great you are, unless you are great, don't come knocking on old Regal's door. But look, just my opinions for what they're worth. But I appreciate everybody who joined us today. And if you see this in the future, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Just gets us out to the algorithm for people who may enjoy this and who may kind of want to hear my goofy opinions. Again, not a professional broadcaster, just doing this for fun and for my friends who join me weekly. Cruiser, I appreciate you sending me the show report. I ain't reading all that. I ain't reading all of that. The video speaks for itself, and if that's a part of that show, then that's enough. But God bless you for still being out there, Cruiser, doing the thing and renting out that disease box you call a ring. Right? All right. Love and peace to everybody. I am your host, Richard James Regal. Check us out on YouTube, WRESTLERADIO 860. Wrestle Radio 860 on YouTube. Twitch is Regalwood 6969. Facebook, Ricky Regal, RIKKIREGAL. Rumble and Kick, of course, are Regalwood. If you want to be on the program, if you want to be a part of the program, give me a shout. Give me a holler. My DMs are always open on Facebook. You can email me at RIKKIREGAL, RickyRegal@gmail. Shoot me a line. Shoot me some results. Shoot some results to Lacey. She's always going to be doing her ringside report. And we'll be glad to get your event coming up and promoted for you, because I know a lot of you may not be doing this yourself. So we'll help you. I'm here to help. I am here. I am a platform for you, friend. I am here for you to use to get your nonsense over. All right. Appreciate everybody again. Thanks again to the lovely and talented baby doll. And I will see you all again right here next week on Regalwood Rasslin.